Hey everyone, this is Driftware. I wanted to touch base because I'm right between video editing softwares right now, so I can't make anything awesome. So right now I'm just kind of raw dogging this video. I wanted to touch on a few points about the future of this channel. I don't think that having a bunch of videos devoted to one project is a good thing for me, because I tend to get really distracted and I'll go start another side project, and that side project will become my main project, and it just cycles out of control. So I don't want to make a video about this big old project that's never really going to get finished, because with the project I made my last video on, I had planned for it to be a little too big for me to handle, and I ran into some really early on problems with saving and loading that I don't know how to fix. What I do plan to do is that the new format for videos going on is just going to be, I'm going to release a video every month or so, and it's just going to touch on, all the things I've worked on for the month. Whether they're game dev related or not, I have a few other projects going on, but I'll should give you a little showcase of whatever I'm working on, and then for things that I don't finish, I usually put those on a GitHub where anyone can get them. So if you see something that you like and I don't finish it, you can have it. So that survival RPG is on GitHub, and you can get it. It's Creative Commons, I'm pretty sure. So if the base code is pretty good, it works for most things. There's a few problems, but it's probably nothing that can't be worked out. So recently, I guess between the 5 months it took me to finally record this video, I took a pretty long break from game dev because I got kind of discouraged after the survival RPG didn't work out. And then after a while I got back into it, and I decided a lot of fairly popular games have really small scopes. Things like Undertale were designed, Undertale and Cave Story, I think, were designed to have 15-minute sections, which seems manageable. So I wanted to do a similar design practice. So I started looking around. I play a lot of older games, and I like Half-Life, and I got into Metroid Prime. And so I wanted to kind of combine those two things together. So I have this new unnamed Metroidvania project I'm working on for I think 2 months now. And I have had a relatively small audience looking at it. Been getting some pretty good feedback. I have a private playtest. And I'm working on the first area and some enemies. And I've been learning Blender for quite a while. And so this is a new opportunity to actually manufacture my own 3D assets, because I'm not very experienced at that, but it's been going pretty well so far. I have this drone model, and I made a mounted turret that pops out of the ceiling. I learned how to hook up Trench Broom, which is this Quake mapping tool. And I learned how to hook it up to Godot with this new plugin called Funk Godot, where I can pretty much handle all of my mapping and everything inside of Trench Broom, and then it just seamlessly imports into Godot. I can place brushes and entities and all kinds of things like that. And I have a pretty well outlined plan. I have it all in a document where everything that I think I need for this to be complete is written down beforehand, so I'm not guessing. Something I used to do a lot is I would just code and then go wherever it takes me and not really plan anything. That's a great way to abandon a project. So everything that I think I need is written down here. It's planned for it to be, hopefully, I would really like it to be about 30 minutes per area, and there would be 4 or 5 areas. But I'm practicing my level design because it's not very good right now. And I'm just trying to, I've been playing a lot of motion shooters and older Metroidvania games, trying to glean hidden nuggets of level design, so that it doesn't just feel like a square hallway that goes into a room that goes into another square hallway, because it's boring. Just things like there being a actual reason for the level to be there, instead of it just being there for the sake of the player running through it. So like for the concept that I have right now for this project is you're like this space bounty hunter, and you're hired by the government that presides over Mars to go to decommission this research space station before it falls to the surface. And you have like your basic buster shot, and the areas are like you go through the cargo bay and like the residential section, etc. And things that would realistically be there, and that they feel like they fit into place. I used to just have like these really basic concepts for enemies that didn't really fit anywhere. But when you try, even though a lot of people push, the stories for their games back, and just try and develop raw mechanics, I think that the way I'm going to try and do it is give everything a reason to be there, and let the world building drive my development. Because if I'm just throwing things in there that don't really feel like they have a purpose, it's not going to be very good. But like I think before I did this, I had a few enemies that like they're largely just like these really generic robots, like that would like roll at you, which doesn't make any sense. But now I'm trying to think of like, well, what would scientists make robots for on like an experimental research facility? But I'm kind of rambling right now. Anyway, that's probably largely what I'm going to be covering on this channel. I do have to juggle quite a few things, like college, and that's actually it. I just have to treat my motivation like a resource, so that I actually do have time to get things done, instead of just sitting in front of my editor not really doing anything. Something I like to do a lot is when I'm feeling like I'm running into a dead end with a project, I'll work on something else. Because, with these kinds of things, you gotta work on art and programming and level design. So if I'm really stuck in a programming portion of this project, I'll go do something else. I'll open up Blender and start blocking out the next enemy. Or I'll go to Drench Room and I'll start blocking out the next part of the area. Just anything to keep myself from getting frustrated, and to keep myself, I want to make some sort of progress, even if it's not necessarily what I wanted to be in the first place, just as long as something gets done. So this is, I think, a good format for these videos. It's gonna be more like a podcast that I release periodically. But if you all have questions, feel free to curse at me in the comment section. People love pressing buttons, so maybe subscribe. I'd like to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the month. Let me know what I could do better and what you'd like to see in the future. Streaming may be a thing that happens in the future, but it also is kind of time consuming and I may not be able to pull that off. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate the privilege of your time, and if I see you again, please help Watanabe in Guadalupe.